In the early 1990s, education experts emphasized the need for technical and vocational training institutions to provide the critical skills required for Ghana's development. This led to the establishment of several TVET schools under the Rawlings administration and through religious NGOs. More than 2 decades on, attention has shifted to STEM schools, leaving many TVET institutions neglected. One such school is the St. Mary's Technical and Vocational Institute at Donkorkrom in the Afram Plains North District. The government-assisted Catholic Girls Institution is now struggling with infrastructure and logistical challenges.
Established some 25 years ago, the St. Mary's Technical and Vocational School in Donkorkrom remains a trailblazer in equipping young girls in the agrarian Afram Plains of the eastern region and far afield with employable skills. It was built in 1999 by the Divine World Missionaries of the Catholic Church in an era which saw a paradigm shift from the grammar schools to that of technical and vocational to complement the know-how of products of junior secondary schools. Since then, Donkorkrom St. Mary's, as it has become known, has trained many young girls and fed tertiary schools with excellent products for both academic and labor markets. But all is not well here. With 8 courses on offer, the fashion and designing department, for instance, has many broken down sewing machines, compelling some girls to get personal machines so as to avoid waiting forever to try one's hands at it. With limited space in the sewing laboratory, management has improvised this makeshift shed for the girls, but that has not deterred a determined staff who turned stumbling blocks into stepping stones even as they exhibit their beautiful crafts of baby beddings, fascinators, and baby apparels. The textiles department is a pale shadow of a once glorious self. The students have to wait for hours to take turns to practice the looming of kente, as only 3 girls can weave at a time. The reason? All the traditional looms behind the broad looms have broken down, compelling tutors to improvise just to do a plain weave on rather a broad loom. The catering department also is beautiful on the outside with a sorry story within. These 12 stoves were donated by a philanthropist whose magnanimity led to the replacement of the original 16, which are all inoperable. The sinks are a white elephant because the acute water shortage here doesn't support water flow through most of them. Due to a lack of cylinder keeping cage, the gas cylinders are kept within the kitchen, whilst cooking is done at the same time, posing a real risk of fire outbreak. Despite all these difficulties, the young girls are able to cook delicious curry rice with fried chicken and shortbread. We chanced upon a session of a clumsy IT lab with 2 students tasked to one computer. Shockingly, for a couple of years now, the school has had no internet connectivity. This means there is no internet-assisted learning here, just typing. The UPS components also have their batteries damaged with no air conditioners to prolong the life of the computers. The increasing number of intake without enough classroom facilities led to the construction of this makeshift ramshackle shed that serve as a 3-classroom facility known as Apatasek.
I'll be teaching English, and the only thing that is separating my class and the other class is just wood, 2-3 woods there. I can see the teacher from my class. I can see the other class from my class. It's a 3 classroom block. And I can speak, and the next teacher in the next 2 classrooms will hear me. And how can instruction be done in such a way? There's a whole lot of distractions.
As if that is not enough, the girls always have to cross the road to their dining area to fetch water, sometimes at odd hours, risking the lives of students at each crossing.
And it's a very risky place because when there's a car or vehicle coming, it can hit someone accidentally.
The dining hall itself, detached from the main campus, is an old dilapidated clinic that was gifted to St. Mary's when the Afram Plains North was hived from the south. This means, in reality, the school has no dining hall, no assembly hall, no accommodation for teaching and non-teaching staff, a situation that compels the few teachers to hang in without an accompanying family. This open area the school calls a kitchen floods with the slightest rain, yet that is the source of all the sumptuous meals such as what is on the menu, banku and tilapia. Due to the open nature of the kitchen, the matron and her cooks are always on the lookout for scorpions, snakes, or other reptiles who are constant and welcome visitors who keep calling. Upon approaching Donkorkrom St. Mary's Technical and Vocational School, a first-timer would observe that the school has no fence wall. The bits and pieces of wall projects happen when philanthropists assist to build part of the wall. This is the reason strayed animals are seen all over the campus. The myriad of challenges in this school does not exclude the area of sports. Hard-working physical education instructors' efforts at sprucing young talents are thwarted by a lack of sporting equipment, sporting gears, and no vehicle to transport the students to and from events outside the school. The only school vehicle is parked for years after it developed a major engine fault. Nightfall at Donkorkrom St. Mary's see the girls hurry to bed in packed dormitories where each room has averagely 24 bunk beds. Thus, 46 students in each dormitory, enveloped in a thick, dark bush without any fence wall. As the girls' school at Donkorkrom readies itself for a Silver Jubilee celebration, management is grateful for the peaceful community within which the school is located, which guarantees the safety of the girls and the staff. As to when an evil person would one day spring a surprise, that will be left to time. Unto Bibini Unto, GBC News, Donkorkrom.